Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pole on the Call podcast. My name is Mændy Mac,
Yay, and I am Cris Rivers.
and we are so excited to be here today with the amazing pole dancer and performer, Dylan.
Yes, thank you so much for being here with us today, Dylan.
Hi.
Oh no, are you shy now? Not to worry, we'll start with an easy question.
Yeah, let's do it.
How did you get started in pole dancing?
I was trying to be a yoga teacher and it wasn't working out. So then I thought, what about personal training? And then we got out of personal training, or we tried that. And the next thing on the list was gymnastic studios, but I saw Studio X on the list of gymnastic studios in the phone book. And I was just like, well, we're just going to go straight to this. And I called Haley up and said, hey, can I come out? And she was just like, yeah. And told me about the studio and told me the house rules. And I was just like, all right, I'll try a class. And then I took one class and that was it. I really like spinning around, I guess. I don't know. Spinning is the best.
I also like spinning.
Yeah, it is.
How long ago was that?
A year ago.
Oh.
A little over a year ago. So New Year's of last year, or yeah, a year and change. But yeah, I'm just really grateful for Haley. And so the thing about spinning is, all right, so the thing about spinning is it's the first legal high, right? So when you're 16 years old, or when you're 6 years old and you're milk drunk, right? When you're 3 years old and you're milk drunk and you're like, oh, my belly's full, and then you're spinning around as a kid and you're like, oh, and you gotta lay down, right? So when you get into pole class and you start spinning around again, you're just like, oh, it's you know, right? It's just the adult version of spinning around, when you're throwing yourself around like a log. You're like, oh, I'm so dizzy. Or the merry-go-round, or just whatever. You're just going around and around and around, and the vertigo hits you and you're like, wah! And you got stars in your eyes and you black out and you don't know what you did. And everybody's like, what the hell did you do? That looks so amazing, you know? And you're like, I don't know, I was spinning. That's it.
Yeah.
Is that not the first pole dancing romance for everybody?
I'm actually
It's like
glad you
an
bring it up
adrenaline
like
rush.
that. Yeah.
What?
It's like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things.
Right. I think you described how I like why I love spinning so much. I've never been able to articulate it.
No, and then let me tell you another thing that I love about spinning. Oh my God. So before I was like, I'm going to be a yoga teacher. So I was in the infantry, and I wasn't just in any infantry unit. I was in an airborne infantry unit. So we would jump out of airplanes. And the last time I jumped out of the last time I jumped out of a helicopter, and then the time before that, it was an airplane. But when you're jumping out of an airplane, the vertigo and the spinning and the free fall and the forces and the air pressures and everything, it's so much on you. And I hadn't experienced stress, the same type of stress of physics on my body since I had jumped out of an airplane. And then when I started spinning around on the pole, it was just this feels so familiar. And I was just like, it's like jumping out of an airplane. And that was the other thing that did it for me. It was two things, and that is what. Yeah. So I love spinning.
I love that. Yes. I think that's the perfect ode to spinning I've ever heard. Like I really love spinning too, but again, I've never been able to articulate it like that.
I know people that can better than this. Like,
Well, did you have any former like dance training or besides yoga
um, I had a couple years of kung fu. Um, it was like Northern Eagle Claw style, and then I found yoga, and when I started doing yoga, my kung fu really did really well. Um, and then I left to join the army, and I couldn't do martial arts anymore, and because the job was just so like demanding on my time, and so really the only thing I could do in my spare time was just like do some like yoga stretches. And then when I got out of the army, I was just like, I'm going to be a yoga teacher. Because I had tried several times to like get my teaching certificate, and then yeah, I got my teaching certificate, tried to do the yoga thing for like money, even though I'm against that. Like, and um and then I was just like, well, let's just keep like pursuing fitness type stuff, like physical fitness type stuff, like activity based stuff. And then we just went down the rabbit trail and then found Studio X, and it was all over. Like, but yeah, Kung Fu was one of them. I love Kung Fu. Um, Kung Fu was so good for me.
Did
nice?
you find that your experience with Kung Fu, yoga, and fitness in the
Well,
military
actually, an
helped you at
interesting
home?
thing. So here's an interesting thing about the Kung Fu. My Sifu, the grandmaster, the teacher that was teaching me this, like all these like northern Chinese type things, like his daughter, he taught his daughter the full Eagle Claw martial arts system, and his daughter eventually started getting into circus type stuff, and his daughter like went on to specialize in lyra and aerial arts. And I was just like, and I always like had like a sneaking suspicion about like gymnasts and aerial people and like circus type stuff, because like I had seen like a few circusy type people like out and about in the community, in like the movement community, and like I always thought they were like really top tier. And like, and here I am years later pursuing like aerial stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, this was where it was at. Like, why didn't I just like pay attention to Sifu's daughter? Like, like, so I don't know. But yeah, so his daughter specialized in lyra, and sometimes I mess around with that, but yeah, definitely. Like aerial stuff is where it's at. Just it's like the end all to be all.
Yes, love it. Do you have a specific style of pole dance that you prefer?
I find myself like what I actually do. It's not that I prefer it, but it's like what I do. But like I try to like just do a lot of stuff up in the air. But like as of lately, like doing stuff with you, like when like I spent like 3 hours with you, and then like there was another instructor that came, and I got to do that, and I spent 3 hours with her. Like I need to spend time on the floor. Like I do not. Like, I just need to spend more time on the floor. Like, it would just be so much better for my life. I don't know. Like,
No, you could Janine Butterfly lives up the pole, never comes down.
Really?
Yes. I'm always so.
So we're only going up from here? Does that mean I'm gonna eventually get my death lay? That's the real question.
Oh
Because
yeah.
the death lay is the very top.
Yeah, I want that one too.
Oh my god. My buddy's talking about a death lay, and like I'm just like, oh fuck, like I don't know how far either of us are away from that, but like, oh no.
Right, I figure I just gotta get a mat underneath me and like try it up here. Or like two friends also, like two friends underneath.
Okay, so we're talking about death lay. Let's talk about this theme of pole tricks. All right, so you just mentioned death lay. I'm gonna counter with suicide spins. How do you feel about that? Oh, yeet,
For me, no.
yeet. I don't like. I feel like you have to be in a particular type of mood to just go do a death lay, just like you would have to be in the same mood to do a suicide spin. Just really casual. Just like think about it. Like casual. We're just gonna go and do this.
I would never, my leg would never be ready for me. I don't know, Chris, do you do that one?
There's a bunch of different suicide spins that I enjoy, but now that I'm getting older, I try to warm up. Back in my stripper days, hell yeah, I jump into it, but I can't do it anymore.
Not like I'm not talking like full expression suicide spins. Like you can still have a hand on a foot and then like do it. But like the fear of not grabbing the pole is just still there with your free hand. It's just like, I don't know. I just put this up because I knocked it down because I was actually trying to do suicide spins and I didn't have it set properly. And like today is my first day of like putting it back up since I had an accident and I fell down off of it. Like, yeah, go me. I ruined my mood lighting. Like my lighting would be so much more awesome than it is now. But I
This was just the mood lighting and not you.
oh my gosh.
Safety first.
What's next, boss?
Well, we were
I don't make the decisions.
Let's talk a little bit about the Studio X, which I was so excited to visit this summer. It was so awesome to meet everyone and to pole dance with everyone there.
Okay. So Studio X has been around for I don't know, I feel like this is a knowledge check. Like it's been around for over 5 years. I know that much. Maybe 8 to 10, I don't know. But the current owners of the facility are Haley and Penny, and they're phenomenal people. Phenomenal people. And we just moved. It was downtown Waterville for the longest time. And now it just moved to a suburb of Waterville called Fairfield. And it's a bigger facility. We got more poles now. More poles, more lyres. It's an exciting time. But like the whole studio is really great. It's like it's a really inclusive environment. They're really supportive. There's no negativity there. Like negativity doesn't exist. It's almost like it's not allowed. Negativity is not allowed. And everyone has just spent like I think every single time I've ever gone into that place, like it's the law of love rules the place. And it's just no one at the studio has ever done me wrong. And it's like I've only left that place feeling better about myself, and it's just the best. Like I love Studio X. And I can't believe I actually found it in the place, because like I'm not in a place where there's like a whole lot of like cool activities to do. So like we're talking like a highly specialized activity in the middle of nowhere. And quite frankly, it blows my mind that more people aren't bricked up about this, because like no, well, you can find gyms and you can find like maybe hiking clubs or just kind of anything that anybody can do, but like they're providing a highly specialized service to learn something very specific that you're not going to learn anywhere else except in a highly populated area. And for how little population this place is, like, so it kind of just blows my mind that like more people aren't like excited about it, because like it's a really special, really like it's a really special activity. Like, I don't know. Like, I love Studio X. Like,
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you mentioned that there's no negativity and you always leave feeling uplifted because that's how it should be. You should always leave feeling like you had a good workout, but uplifted rather than defeated and like unsuccessful.
yeah, like even if I don't actually like nail anything or feel like like I still always feel better about. I think spin time's good. Anytime you can get spin time, I think it's good.
Yes. Right.
Well,
That's like
speaking of spit, oh, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that's the magic of the pole class. Like you literally just have to show up.
It's so true. Since you love spin so much, do you have any tips for people who might be struggling with spin or who want to get better at it and just don't know what to do, where to start? What would you recommend?
Spin drills. Just get on it, hop on, and hold on for as long as you want, and then go the other direction, and then go back the other direction and try to hold on longer. Like, just go for a spin. Or if you're like, if your life is all fucked up and like you're stressed out and you're thinking about all these problems and like emergencies that are popping up, just be like, hey, I gotta just go for a spin real quick, and then just like do it, you know? Like, I call it a therapy spin. Like, you just gotta go for a therapy spin.
Oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna start using
Yeah,
that. Right, because you can't think of anything else. You're just spinning. Maybe like trying not to feel sick though.
And the only way to get better is, like you said, to just go on it and practice with
Yes.
safety, of course, and warming up. We always got to emphasize the safety and the warming up.
yeah, I gotta get a mat. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't have a mat.
Don't be. Don't be. One day at a time. Your studio will grow with time. It just takes time, sadly.
Yes. Do you ever?
First, I used to. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna ask you for spinning. Do you ever use like ginger candies or ginger to help
Kisses.
with the nausea,
Um,
or have you never gotten nausea?
no,
You just
I don't. I've never heard of that before. The only thing as far as pole specific diet goes is that I'm not allowed to eat Chinese food.
and you know that from experience. It sounds like.
Well, I mean, I think it's an unwritten law at Studio X. We talk about that. We're like, oh, you had Chinese food. That's why you're sliding down. That's why you're not sticking to the pole. You can't have Chinese food. So try to stay away from that these days, even though I love it. But no, I've never heard about ginger.
Oh, I love the ginger. I've never heard about the Chinese food, though. I'm curious as to what in amazing Chinese food causes us to be slippery and slap.
I think it's the MSG.
Oh no.
Yeah, the MSG. I don't make the rules.
It just needs to be a rule and regulation book.
Yeah.
Let's go back into so the hand and body grip you use so that you use as the pixie grip.
Yay.
Yeah, and tell us who makes it.
Haley
Pixie grip or
at
pixie
Studio X makes it. It's great. I get the strong stuff. This one's mango. It's a seasonal. And then this one's bubblegum. There's a lot of glitter in it. I'm always covered in glitter. I used to have a problem with glitter, and now I don't. So actually, one of the reasons I like being covered in glitter like all the time now is because superheroes glitter. I don't know if you know this. If you like all the superheroes with special abilities that can fly around and shoot energy beams, they all glitter. And I like glittering like superheroes. So I don't know. But this one's mango. I like the chocolate one. She makes a chocolate one. I think that one might be seasonal. Like she makes it during like half the year, but that one's the best one. She also makes something called liquid gold, which I don't have right now. But it's more of like it's got tons of shimmer in it, and it's very gold, and it's grapefruit. It smells like grapefruit, but you just like put it on and then just wipe it all over your body. And like I added that. So she's got like a couple different options. She's got this other one called Grip MV. But right now I just use the standard Pixie Potion and the liquid gold product that she makes. But yeah, it's great. I don't think I'll use anything else, to be honest. I don't have any desire to use anything else. It's working pretty good for me, and no lupid pads, no ITAC, no. I only ever used dry hands once, and that was when like Shayna Cruey told me to put it on the backs of my knees. It was a really sweaty day that day. But yeah, just all I ever do was like Pixie Potion. So
I know we have a sample pack that was sent home with me that everyone's been enjoying at the studio. But if anybody else wants to purchase, where can they purchase? Is it available online?
it is. You can find. I think it's primarily sold on Etsy. But if you look up Haley K201 on most social platforms, you will find her there, and there will be a link to Pixie Potion and or like the Pixie Potion brand. There's always a link to Studio X. There's always a link to Pixie Potion. You can just follow the links if you look up, Studio X or Haley K. You know, yeah. I just get it at the studio because I'm lucky enough to go there. And
Right,
yeah.
that's so awesome that you have it so available. Well, I was gonna ask too, because there's Lyra available at the studio. Do you like Pole or Lyra better, or do you?
I like the pole better. It's not that I don't like Lyra. When I first started going, I tried to do one day of Lyra and then the rest pole. And I kind of got away from that because like there for a second, like I was just getting like really exhausted with like workouts, and there was this one day I just couldn't give any. I like double, triple booked myself for classes, and like it ended with the lyra, and I had just like nothing left to give, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna take a break from trying to incorporate lyra in anything. And so I kind of like took a break from like touching the lyras, but like I love sitting on them before class, and like I do think it's cool, and I do have like a lot of really good like pole friends that go hit up the lyra and everything. And I don't know, like I signed up for some open lyra the other day just to kind of like, and I was just like messing around with it, and I was just like, oh wait, I didn't know I could do this. Like this is fun. Like all right, all right. So I don't know, like I flirt with it sometimes, but the pole is really where it's at. That's what I love. And
Yay. Right. I like that you mentioned that you like the like freestyle, playful approach to going on the lyra rather than like stressing yourself out by going to a regular class.
well, no, it's not that I don't like going to a regular class. It's just that was what was available and the stars aligned, so I went to class early. But like, um, honestly, I think I would, with my general personality type, I think like I'm not against one or the other, or like one I like one more than the other, but like I don't know. Like, and another thing about the lyra thing is at our places they they book up. So a lot of times when I am feeling like I want to do lyra, I can't, because it's like it's booked out. Like there's other people that have just like hit it up and like signed up, and I'm just oh, not today. So that's like another element, is to like why, yeah, we sell out of lyra classes more than we sell out of pole classes. Yeah. And Megan's our main lyra instructor, and she's awesome. She's like a sister to me. Um she's the best. Um I think I realized there's this. So I was doing a class with Megan, this lyra instructor. She was teaching me pole, and the drill was to go all the way up to the top and then just sit there and spin around at the top. And I got up there and I was spinning, and I sat down and I was like dealing with the vertigo, and she did the same thing with me, and she was with me the entire time. And like I'll never forget that. Like it was so, she just stayed with me up there and dealt with the spin with me, and like was like talking to me and coaching me through it and encouraging me. And like, man, like she's great. She's great. I love her. And that was when I was doing that class and she did that with me, that's when I knew like this is a person that's gonna like, no, this is my person. Like I was just like, they're serious about what they do. They're serious about like teaching me. Like they're sitting here doing what I like. It was, yeah.
Yes, right. They're not going to give up. They're right up there with you.
She's an instructor at Studio X, so
Love it. Well,
Yes.
back to pole dancing. What is your favorite pole trick?
Favorite? Yay! Love this question.
I just figured out a Pegasus, and I've been working on it for like since last October. Um, I saw a reel on TikTok of this Italian girl doing it, and that's when I knew, and I saved it, and I've been watching that video ever since then, and I've slowly been making steps towards it, and I finally got it, and it's going really well. And now I'm trying to figure out some of these combos I've been learning from class. I'm trying to like figure out how I can end the combo in a Pegasus now. And yeah, so that's my current favorite, like just because it's like, I don't know, it's just like a newfound love. And I actually have record of my progress on trying to like learn this trick. And yeah.
Congratulations. That's so awesome to like
Yes,
work so
congrats.
hard.
I know.
But then, what if
Ugh.
What is you? What is your pole nemesis trick?
Oh. So there is one called the Miracle, and I hate that one. And I did it with Penny, one of the studio owners, for a day, and it was And then there was also another day where like I was hanging out with Haley, and she was teaching me, if I remember correctly, it was called like a vortex. And like, if I remember this correctly, I had a very similar feeling to a miracle. It was like a miracle and a figurehead made a baby. And it was just the dumbest thing ever. And I did not have any of the to-do-ness to do it. And I just, oh my goodness. And oh, I hate those so much.
I don't think I know
I'm
what a
not gonna.
miracle is.
I was just about to say the same thing. I'm not sure I know what a miracle is.
It
You said it's a figurehead in a vortex? That sounds
no. A vortex is like a miracle, and a figurehead had a baby, if I remember it correctly.
oh my
It's
God.
like in between. But a miracle is just like, I don't know, you're just standing straight up, and you're just using your like back thighs and your back muscles in the back of your armpit to just hang off pole. And you're just standing straight up, and you're just like looking forward, like you just sung the big chorus in a show choir performance.
Is it like the Titanic?
I don't know. I would have to look it
I
up,
wonder if
but
it's another name for the Titanic because that's
maybe. I've also heard it called a magical sit. I've seen someone doing the same thing, but it was hashtag magical sit.
no.
But it was when we learned it in class, or when we were doing it in class, it was called a miracle. And I'm just, and I hate it so much. But at the same time, like, anyways, I'm done. I'm done.
Too funny.
I definitely have
I'm
to
about to check out this. I don't know, miracle magical
right?
set. Says this. Writing it down. Magical set.
My buddy is so broke up about it. I'm like, I can't even believe.
Well, do you have any aspirations to be a pole dance performer?
Yeah,
Yay!
I think that would be great.
Yay!
Yes. What kind of style performing do you think you'll do?
I don't know. Whatever I figure out how to do first.
Like, are you gonna
That's
do
why I said I needed to like be on the floor more.
floor work? Yeah.
Yeah, because being up in the air is so exhausting. And like I have this desire for choreography. And if I would just buy earbuds and put one earbud in and play a song or play a playlist while I'm in the middle of class, I could still hear what she's doing. And I could like get like a very important piece of choreography, which is like music, right? Musical choreography. Like, or like if I would just like during open class, like just do that. Like, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go out and buy earbuds after this, directly after we end this call. So
Yeah,
thanks, guys. Thanks for holding me.
yeah.
It's the
Floor
next
work
step
is
of your performer journey.
floor
I
work
don't
can be
know,
tiring too, though.
but like, oh, so on that, like, um, yo, doubles work is so cool.
It is.
Doubles work is so cool, but it's like so intimidating. Cause that like in like so many instances that there's like a doubles trick involved, there's like an element of trust because you're like holding on to someone potentially. It's like you're not just simultaneously doing the same leg hang opposite of each other. It's just like, no, like you're holding on to them. Like they fall if you let go. Like, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, but I mean, it's just so top tier and so like desirable and like and I'm just like that is where real life is at. It's couples work.
Some
Like I just
double
see
performances in your future.
what like
Have you ever thought about competing?
I think the idea of it would be really cool.
Yes, there's
But
doubles
who knows? I
competition.
don't know. I gotta get my things sorted out. I gotta figure out what I'm doing first. If I don't know what I'm doing, what am I how am I supposed to do that? Like
Does
like
your
let's be realistic here.
does your
Like
studio usually go to PSO Northeast?
different girls do.
Oh, so maybe
Um,
you can like follow them this year and see what it's all about.
I do. I try to pay attention to what they're doing. Sometimes, you know, um, you know, oh gosh, I think it's the falls when most of them usually happen.
Yeah.
But we got one girl that's really good about like doing it pretty consistently, and then like of course the studio owners they go to like full con and everything whenever it's happening um and they let everybody know. They were like, hey, we're going to full con, and sometimes there might be like a competition during full con or whatever, and like a couple people might go or might not, and like it's exciting to hear back from everybody, like, because sometimes they'll send you like a text message of like something cool that happened or so and so's performance or like something that they found, and it's just like really great. And I'm just like, ah, man, I want to go to. I really need to go to that. Like, I think I like this enough to go to the convention now. Like, yeah. So,
Right, and then
um,
at PolCon you could take liquid motion and get that floor work in.
yes, that's another thing. Haley's always talking about like different classes you can take and like clinics and like special workshops that you can take at Volcon. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
You
Sounds like a good
become
time.
certified to be a teacher at PolCon.
You can. Wow.
Is that something you'd be interested in the future?
Probably. Yeah.
Love it.
We're just gonna take it as far as it goes, honestly.
Yeah, why
So
not?
the attitude is we're just gonna keep doing this and we're gonna see how far it goes. And we're just gonna enjoy every second of it.
Yes. Right, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pole dancing kind of just like takes over your life sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah. It definitely has. Yeah. I say no to a lot of people. Um, and this is like my number one priority outside of my job. Um, yeah, I usually say no to everybody unless it's someone from here or my job, and that's it. So,
Yes, love a boundary.
Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years with pole dancing?
um, 5 years?
Yeah, 5, 10, whatever you like in the
Five? Oh,
future.
no, let's start with 5. 5? Um, I think in 5 years I could have like a really good message to like I think I could use pole dancing to deliver a really good message to try to help people. And I think I could come up with a message that would help people to improve their lives. And I think I could use the pole dancing thing to inspire and reinforce the message in 5 years. And I think that I could be successful enough to reach a significant number of people whose lives I had impacted for the better. That's what I think in 5 years. So I'm hoping, as long as I stay true to what I'm doing and my moral compass, I think that I can achieve what I have described. I should write that down, actually.
Yes.
All right, that's the answer to your question. Okay, sorry.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing.
I blacked out.
No, you're fine. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely achievable goal. 100%.
Yes. The hardest part is just sharing our stories.
Right?
Ugh.
What do you do in your free time or your muggle job?
My muggle job. I work for a restaurant. I am. I tell everybody that I'm HR, but I'm actually not. I'm actually like a driver. So I deliver a lot of the food, and then I do a lot of like other like auxiliary tasks. Like I help the waitresses sometimes. Sometimes I help the cooks. You know, I'm just kind of like everywhere around the restaurant. But like, yeah, I mostly just deal with out of the house stuff, like getting people, you know, their midnight snack or whatever, because they need a pizza. There's a lot of things that pizza fixes. So,
Yeah, I remember you offered us pizza, and
what?
I remember you offered us all pizza at the end of the
Oh
work.
my God. Yeah, I invited you to the restaurant. Yeah. It's, yeah.
So if you're ever in Maine at Studio X in Fairfield, what is the name of the place?
It's called Portland Pie.
Portland Pie after
Yeah.
class.
Oh, pizza heals everything.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Is that all the questions, Chris?
And referring back to them now.
Oh, we even talked about nutrition.
Yes, and self-care, because I liked how you mentioned your biggest thing for self-care lately, if you want to go into that.
Journaling has been huge.
Yeah.
This time last year, I started doing something called 75 Hard, and I was doing a lot of pole dancing while I was doing 75 Hard. And like, I was just recently looking at my like daily photographs of that, because you had to take a picture of yourself every day. But like, that required like workouts, drinking a gallon of water, reading, just like all this like stuff. Like it was a really simple task, but like it took a lot out of you. And like, but lately what I've been doing is journaling, and like like I've been journaling in a very specific format of life scripting, 369 method. So it's kind of like manifesting things. And so in the morning, the prescription of what I'm supposed to do is I'm writing out my life as if it has already happened. And I write it out 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and then 9 times at night before I go to bed. And my day begins when I wake up, and my day ends when I go to bed. So as long as I write this down like a total of like 18 times the way in like past tense. And it does take a lot of time and it can be like consuming, but like it's really helped me focus on like my goals as far as like what I want in life, and it's helped me worry less, and like it's also helped me fight imposter syndrome as well, because like, are you familiar with imposter syndrome? So like,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Oh
yeah, so like if you don't know, for anybody that's listening to this, if you don't know, imposter syndrome is feeling like you are like the fake version of what you're trying or are being, right? Like you feel like a fake, a sham. And it doesn't matter. So like I, like I really like this pole dancing thing and I want to make the most of it, but like there are some days I just don't feel very good about it. And I'm just like, why am I even doing this? But like, when I look back at my journal and I see what I've written down about pole dancing every day for like, how many times, and I'm just like, no, like you're not an imposter. You actually have this very real desire. You are working on it. You are cognitively thinking about it every single day. It is on the forefront of your mind. With how much the evidence here is that how much you have an actual written down record of how much headspace, how much of a priority this is in your life. There's no way you could be a fake, like and like it provides like physical concrete evidence to like an abstract idea of like a thought that you might hold in your head. And that is what is so powerful about it. And I recommend it. Like I haven't been doing this very long. I've heard about it from other people, and like, but yeah, journaling is really where it's at. That's the method that I'm currently using. I know a lot of people just like record thoughts about their day, or they write down loose facts, or they'll write a poem for the day, or they'll make a scribble on a page or whatever it is, or they use one of them like things with prompts where it makes you like fill out a question about yourself every day. Like there's a lot of different types of journaling out there, and like I've done a lot of different, and none of them are bad. None of them are bad. It's just that this one is what I'm doing now, and I love it. So journaling.
Thank you for
yeah,
that.
thank you for sharing that. Journaling is fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, like that.
Oh
Like,
no, you're
the
fine.
69 one is awesome because I find like, I don't know, like that. I feel like that would be cool for me to write the same thing over and over again because that would be something that I know I could do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it's so highly therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a lot of thinking involved. So there's been nights, the one, as far as the journal that I do at night, like the last entry of the night, I have to write down what I want out of my life 9 times. And I will find myself looking at it, and I will, like, at night, I ask myself, do I really want this? Do I really, really, truly want this? And then I write it down again, and I write it down again, and I write it down again. And then at the end, I'm like, yeah, dude, you really wanted that. You did. You made a choice. And tomorrow you are going to be making decisions that are going to take you closer to getting to what you want in life. And like, but yeah, there's been many times where I'm just like crying and crying, and I'm like, do I really want this? Like, is this really the direction that I want to go? Like, and yeah, like I don't know, like the whole thing, it's very emotional. It does make you, even though you're writing the same thing over and over again, and in theory it should be mindless because you know what you're writing down, like you still ask yourself questions about it. Like it's so good for singular purpose focus. And like I feel like a lot of people are so distracted right now in life because there's so many things that demand our attention. Like getting your mind on a singular purpose and like forcing yourself to sit down and think about it for any amount of time is just like so good. Like so good for your psyche.
Thank you so much for sharing that self-care. That's super important that we all find a way that works for us. You introduced some ways that I hadn't considered, and I'm going to try because I have an empty journal next to me that I want to fill, and writing is hard for me. I don't know why. But if I had
it's
like that one goal and I could write
if
that
it
all day.
just 3 sentences, just come up with 3 sentences of how you want your life to look and just write that over and over again.
Right, and then have the intention behind it when you write it and read it.
Yeah, yeah, and then there's that too. And sometimes I change a word. Like I you know, like I changed, so like a lot of the word gratitude comes up the most in everything that in each item that like I write the word gratitude in each thing. And then like another word that comes up is mine. And I just recently took out the word mine and replaced it with this because like it's not necessarily mine. It's, so like slowly I'm starting to like pay attention to like, I don't know, like I'm essentially trying to brainwash myself into being grateful for something that I think could be a possibility. I don't know, like, and it's really helped my mood, quite frankly. And I don't know. So yeah, my is no longer mine, it's this. And I pay a lot more attention to when I talk about me. And I don't know, I think it's helped me try to like squash about selfishness. Yeah, so like it's helped me reframe my idea of selfishness and in like a lot of different ways. And I don't know, just like a lot of like complex emotions and whatever, emotional alchemy. I'm
Yeah.
a crazy person. I need to go for a spin right now.
Love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for beginner pole dancers?
Everybody knows that like, well, so they say things like all bodies are full bodies, or I'm butchering that, but like it's true. It's true. And like, should definitely shave your legs. I remember one of my coaches got she kept telling me to shave my legs, and then I finally shaved my legs, and I was just like, yep. So that's the reason I shave my legs. But shave your legs. All bodies are full bodies. Um, have fun. Like, I don't know, like have fun. Because so the thing about this right here is, so for new pole dancers, the thing you got to understand about this right here is that like it marks a very special place. So I don't know if you know this, but this actually marks where the very center of the attention is in the room. So like when you're standing right here, guess who's everybody's looking at? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and everything you do on it commands attention. Like,
I never really
it's just like when you, yeah, like
physics behind it that you don't even know.
yeah, it's just, I mean, so new pole dancers need to know that what they're doing is very special. Very, very, very special.
Love it. Thank you
Yeah.
for
Yes, it is very hard and very special.
that.
Oh,
But I think that is it for me. Chris, do you have any?
Yeah, I don't. I'm looking back at it. What are some things coming soon for you? I saw the answer to that. Is he doing floor work?
I know I'm gonna get a new job.
Yay! Yay to new things.
Yeah. So I know that that's gonna happen. I don't know when, but I think I'm gonna get a new job, and I think it will be a pretty smooth transition too. Um, and then I think like I think I might have a girlfriend in like at least a year. That would be really nice. Um, and I don't really know a whole lot about that, but
You gotta put it out
um,
there.
what?
You gotta put it out there.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Yeah, those are the everything else is pretty much staying consistent. Like, um, I just take care of my plants and go to pole dance class and deliver pizza and go for walks. That's all I do.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, planning for
I
the future.
I have a pretty good life. Yeah.
Love those final thoughts. So thank you so much for taking the time to share your pole journey with us today.
Um,
Oh, can't wait to see what the future has for you.
Yes. And thank you so much to everyone listening to or watching this episode of Pull on the Call podcast. My name is Mandy Mac.
Oh, and I am Chris Rivers trying to do flexibility stuff.